having dinner with a friend, and we began a discussion on why is it that most people can help another person, a friend usually, solve their problems, but they are deficient or they struggle with solving their own problems. Why is that? We ensued into a lengthy discussion, and I surmised from that, because as you've read, and the logical answer is we are too close to the problem, right? We're too close to the problem and we can't see everything. And I think that that's only the tip of that big iceberg, and everything else underneath it, it's the real answer. And I think because we've been taught in school to try to problem solve intellectually, especially recently in school, and how to solve these problems mathematically or using logical explanations. Why? X equals Y. Well, I really don't believe that anymore. What I think is, when we begin to focus our attention on being emotionally stronger, on our emotional quotient, then we understand what we really need and how we feel about that, and what we don't need and how we feel about that. We understand that not everything deserves a response, and not everything needs a reaction. And those two things, response and reaction, are really different. Really different. When we understand that not everything deserves our response and not everything needs a reaction, the only way that we get to that understanding is by being emotionally strong. It's not your fucking intellect that's going to get you there. It's not. It's when you understand that you don't actually have to feel one way or the other about somebody else's opinion about some situation. It doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a good person, doesn't make you anything. When you learn to control, that's what I try to do. When we learn to control our emotions and truly understand how we feel about ourselves and other people, then we become engagers, then we become true communicators, and we will respond accordingly and react accordingly. So that's it, right? So come back to where we started. Why do we struggle with solving our own problems? One, the easy answer is because we're too close to them, and two, because we don't think about them as part of our emotional makeup. We try to philosophize, we try to rationalize these things, and that's not why you're having the problem. Yes, it's good to philosophize about it, and it's definitely good to rationalize about it, but that's not why you're having the problem. Why you're having the problem is because you are attaching an emotion to something that doesn't necessarily need to be there. It's like, why do you keep carrying this baggage with you? Why do you have an inability to let it go? Or you're struggling with a problem today, and we get all worked up about it, and that doesn't help you solve it. So before you can get to the true rational thinking and logical thinking, your intellectual intelligence, unless you are controlling your emotions, you're not going to get to that point. You're going to keep spinning around and round, and you're going to be stuck on this Ferris wheel. But why is it you have one little problem and then all of a sudden it spirals into like 10 problems, and you can't sleep at night and all of these things? Why is that? Well, it's the same thing. It's the same reason why we can't solve our own problems, because we're not emotionally strong. We're not thinking about them in the right way. That's my take on it. And as I've grown stronger in dealing with my own problems of the past, deaths in my family, people that were close to me, or my own struggles and changing my career and how I developed courage. All of those things came from my ability to be emotionally stronger and think about emotional quotient as more important than my intellectual understanding of everything. That I didn't really have to understand it to be able to let it go. I didn't. And I didn't have to necessarily be able to understand it to get past it. That I could do that through emotional intelligence. Hope that helps. I'm Richard Wilson, and we're talking about awareness and emotional quotient, EQ. See you next time here on the couch.